Now, 2 years back, New Zealand lived through a few weeks of wild unruliness at the hands of some infamous British tourists. Now we'll get the chance to relive it all again.
Thankfully, the tourists themselves aren't coming, but the stage version of them is.
The media that we did early on was not appreciated.
Is that the project?
We know you for your beautiful comedy songs, but I didn't know you had an opera background.
We don't.
We do not.
We'd never been to an opera.
They're completely unsuitable.
Yeah. we don't know why we were picked either.
And that was the first a lot of people saw about it, was just these two stupid bitches being super flippant about everyone's beloved art form. And I can see how it would have got people's backs up a little bit as well.
I think Unruly Tourists is like the perfect opportunity. It's a really interesting story. It's going to provoke. It's going to reach across and pull in different people who may not go to an opera but be interested in the story.
This thing that was said really fascinated me, okay? According to legendary opera tenor Simon O'Neill, poking fun at the rowdy tourists is middle-class snobbery. Is it?
So we've heard that Simon O'Neill is quite high profile, but to be blatantly honest, I've never heard of him in my life. That's right, we'd heard of Kiri Te Kanawa, not heard of Simon. But that's okay, we have now.
And he's allowed to have his opinions on an opera that hasn't been written or finished or performed yet. You know, everyone is allowed their opinions. I hope that he gets the opportunity to see it and make an informed opinion instead.
I originally thought it was going to be a glorified orchestration job, that I was going to take their songs and operify them, for want of a better word. But actually, it became a much bigger compositional job, and we actually ended up writing it, so much of it together, and I got very involved in the story and the libretto as well, because we're all telling the same story with one voice. When you better start, when you better start.
I've never met anyone as musically gifted and talented as Luke, and he has a special ability to understand what we mean. We are not good with words, that's why they got us to write the libretto. Luke wrote the music after we wrote the lyrics, and then we'd all workshop it together on Zoom along with Riley.
He could be like, oh, I was just gonna go back to the office, blah, blah, blah. And then she can be like, nah.
Riley advised us on story throughout, and he would be able to say there's something lacking here, there's something missing here.
She had real clear morals at the start of the show and really clear kind of ethics, which have just slowly eroded. She's now at the height of tabloid notoriety and fame. And she's at Fight Club Monday. She's kind of sold her soul to the devil.
So there we were, generating huge momentum with this project, and suddenly now we're all in lockdown.
The situation here is moving at pace, and so must we. Effective immediately, we will move to alert level 3 nationwide. After 48 hours, we will move to level 4.
We got to work with Luke in person two or three times.
Oh, 2 visits, 3 times throughout the 2 visits.
Yeah.
So our creatives, Luke, our composer, Amanda, Livy, our writers, Riley, our dramaturg, all have to go online and work remotely. We have to cast remotely through audition tapes. Everything is online.
This morning meeting is being recorded.
All right, should we bleed out the key?
I reckon we get rid of the key.
Yes.
Gone.
The rest of it was done over Zoom, which is possibly the only opera in the world that's been written over Zoom in a pandemic, and it was extremely challenging, and I don't recommend it.
I'm finding it really, I'm really struggling with how much we're jumping around at the moment, so I'd like a job to do right now. I'm feeling very anxious to get in and go through things, and we've just jumped around for 40 minutes, so I'm really struggling.
We haven't started yet. We're just.
It's not a criticism. I'm just telling you how I feel.
It's hard to write an opera over Zoom. There's a lag. So then you got Luke in Melbourne, Riley in Sydney, me in Te Kaupata, her in Henderson, and it's an opera running over Zoom. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And not ideal.
And this is not the first setback we've had, you know, whether it's working remotely, whether it's resignations, criticism, bad press, Omicron, you name it. I think this project's going to survive. And I think it's too important and too exciting to leave in a drawer. So I'm an optimist, and fingers crossed.
What do you think of New Zealand? What do you think of New Zealand? What do you think of New Zealand? What do you think of New Zealand?
The start of rehearsals is always a really special moment for everybody working on the production. It's the moment we come together for the first time.
Right answers only. Okay,
When I first heard the Takapuna Beach song
At the workshop,
I think I burst into tears, and Livy called me a big sook.
she's a big sook.
I'm a big sook.
I was like,
We both were, and I'm like,
to hear, like,
all our work come to life.
yeah, like, you know, we'd written words and we had ideas of how it should sound, and we'd never heard it sung out loud by opera singers, and it just was insane. And we're like, this is a real, it's when it felt real.
Yeah.
We're like, this is a real thing.
I repeat, this is a perfect time to go and see the Hobbits. We're not going to see the fucking Hobbits until Thursday. But Mum!
Right, beautiful, awesome.
So intense.
So
Incredible.
but in a great way.
Right before I wanted to die of
Yeah.
agony, and now I want to die of, like, joy.
To be fair, we haven't heard their feedback yet, so we could be like really preempting our excitement here.
Yeah, let's just put a little disclaimer on that.
Yeah,
It was all right.
It was okay. I mean, yeah.
It's okay.
What is? I think we write for people like us.
Dickheads.
Dickheads. We write for dickheads, and there's going to be a lot of dickheads in the audience, but in a good way.